So I'm Vitaliy Goncharuk. Usually I'm not speaking about augmented reality, but my friends asked me to speak in Lviv. And I remember it was the first time I talked about augmented reality in 2011. And it was in Ukrainian Catholic University, which is strange, but first time when I publicly talked about AR, it was in Lviv. So I decided why not, and I fly yesterday from San Francisco to speak here and probably share some of my thoughts about me. So I'm a founder at Augmented Pixels. Probably you hear about this company. Can you show you? Sorry? Yeah, and I established this company in 2010. I will show you just two videos. First video, so presentation not about the company, but I will just share you what we did in 2010 and what we're doing now in computer vision. And after that, we will go through the presentation. Can you just show it first? Shut the gates at sunset. After that, you can't get out. This is pretty simple video, but again, we did this solution in 2010, when most of all even never heard about augmented reality. This is funny stuff, nothing specific. And can you show another video now? So what we do now is we do now computer vision solutions for robotics. So we create self-driving drones. This drone full autonomous. So we do not create hardware, we create brains for drones. And this is visually based solutions. And you can see how drone like flying full autonomously according to the program what you can create. Yeah, and you can go to presentation. So, and what we did in 2010 and what we're doing now, based on the same, some kind of technologies. It's all based on computer vision. Now we do a little bit more complex solutions, but it's the same field. What happening from 2010 to 2016? So if you will go to any meetup or event like this, in 2010, you will find probably 10, 20 crazy people who talked about augmented reality and virtual reality, but you will not find any business people. So it was like totally field for geeks. But after success of Pokemon Go, believe me, most of our investors decided like they want to invest in augmented reality and virtual reality. So Pokemon Go, it's like this phenomenon did a big job for our field. What I will talk today. So I will talk about VR and AR now. Here I will be a little bit captain of visuals, so I will not share anything what you didn't know. Probably you all tried VR or AR in the past. And after that I will share some thought what I heard from in Silicon Valley or from my own thoughts, and I believe it will be a little bit more interesting than first two topics. So, and for example, on my flight yesterday, I read it's USA Today, and you see what they're writing about virtual reality and augmented reality. So this is in news. It's a mass market news. So it's not field for geek anymore. So it's some very trendy topic. So what is VR now? So we have probably three major players. It's Oculus or Facebook. It's HTC and Sony, plus a lot of smaller vendors who are trying to create something. And the best existing VR solution for now, I think, HTC Vive. But I want to highlight what I don't like VR at all. So I don't feel that it's a future. So I think some more advanced technologies. Can you play third video? Yeah, but for the people who are not familiar with virtual reality, I just prepared this video how kids using headset HTC Vive, so you will see.
Hey everybody, it's Nick from Android Headlines.
So even
this past week or so, I've had a lot of fun
even
with
small
the
kids
HTC
can
Vive.
try
And
headsets, and they can very easily adopt how to work, how to do something in virtual reality.
See what he does, see how he likes it, and surprisingly enough, he picked it up immediately. It's really quite amazing just how natural.
By the way, who never tried virtual reality in this room?
And that really shows itself in the fact that my 2-year-old who has never
if I'll
played
ask,
video games before, doesn't watch any violent
5 years
things,
ago, I
doesn't
think
like that.
most
Just
of all
picked this
will
thing
raise
up,
hands,
looked down,
which
saw
is
the
funny.
guns, picked them up, and was able to just look
Let's
around.
go to the next slide. Yeah, so you see, like, even just small kids can play in virtual reality. So probably even adult people can do this. So I think now VR is like hot topic. It's even more hot than augmented reality. I asked it myself why, and I found just one answer. Because if you want to do something in virtual reality, it requires less resources from you than in augmented reality. So if you want to create something in augmented realities, you have higher barriers. You need to create more advanced algorithms, etc. What's happening now in virtual reality? So probably you hear what Oculus started sales, Samsung started sales, but they are facing some problems. So they, for example, sold like 200,000 items. And after that, sales stopped. So geeks just purchased glasses, but casual people do not purchase glasses. Another some kind of indicator, what if you look on the result of sales VR games, you will find what people not earning money on this. So it's just prototypes. So it's still early stage. Why? I think the main problem what your body still feel that it's a fake. So when you try in VR, you still feeling sick. You starting feeling sick. And if you will talk with some people in some big companies, they will explain you what in new games, what they publishing on the market, they limited your behavior in VR games. So your behavior very limited, and only because of this you're not feeling sick. I know what Sony is soon planning to deliver on the market VR glasses together with Sony Sony PlayStation. It will be, I think, truly mass market solution, and they will have a lot of exclusive content. So probably very soon we will see some very good solutions on this. I also want to touch all these gadgets. So probably you see these barriers, etc. I think it's not too natural. So if you try this, you see what it's something would make you very limited. Let's switch to current state of augmented reality. So you will see less players. You will see Microsoft, Google, maybe 10 more big vendors. The best existing solution, what I tried, is Microsoft HoloLens. Who tried Microsoft HoloLens in this room? 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think so. When I tried first, I understand what this is really cool stuff. So it's not Google Glasses. It's something what could be improved in 1 or 2 years, and after that it could be mass market. So if you had no chance to try HoloLens, just found the way how you can try it, and you will understand where is the future. And I want to show you just, so because just 5 people in this auditory tried HoloLens, I want to show you the video. Can you, number 4? And this is like most impressive video, and this is reality. This is not a fake video.
Today we're going to show you an exciting new technology that could fundamentally change the way that people will communicate in the future. Imagine being able to virtually teleport from one space to another in real time. Hey, Sergio.
Yes, Ram.
How does it feel like to be holoported?
It feels great to be holoported.
So if Sergio is to wear his HoloLens device, and I'm going to wear mine, we can see each other in full 3D in real time. We can interact and communicate as if we're co-present. Sergio,
and
can you walk around my
HD
space?
quality, so
Image
image looks real, so it's not
we're
a
doing
fake
everything
quality.
to give the impression that Sergio and I are present in the same space. Sergio, let's just do a high five. That's
Bye
great.
bye.
Thank you, Sergio. We call this technology holoportation. Now, to make all this happen, we've had to create a new type of 3D capture technology. I'm surrounded by these 3D cameras that we've developed in our team. Each of them is capturing me from a separate viewpoint, and we're fusing this data together to create a temporally consistent model, as you can see reconstructed live behind me. Now, the camera that's filming me has a HoloLens tracking system attached, and this allows us to take these 3D models and composite them in real time into the real world, as you can see here. And that gives you a sense of the fidelity of the reconstructions that we can achieve. Once we have these reconstructions, we can texture them. We can then compress the data and transmit the data over to the other side. Over on the other side, a user wearing a HoloLens can see these remote participants live in their space as if they're co-present. And that's what we're showing you picture in picture. Now imagine using this type of capture technology to connect with family members who are thousands of miles away. And that's exactly what we're going to demonstrate to you right now. My daughter is stood in a similar capture rig somewhere else in our lab. And she's going to holoport into my space, and I'm going to interact with her wearing my HoloLens.
Hi, Bob, I miss you.
Hey, Lilia, I miss you too.
When you coming home?
I'm coming home very soon. Let me get out of your way.
Okay, I think you got an idea. Can we switch to the presentation? The lifetime of the battery about 3 hours. Some people use HoloLens even now, sure, for testing purposes instead of screen. So I think, again, 1-2 years, and it will be a really cool device. So I really recommend you to try it, to buy it, and to start do something. I'm not the guy who paid by Microsoft, but this is really something what I tried first time, and I believe what this is reality. So this is coming reality. But this stage is a little bit earlier, even than VR. So if you want to create some company, startup, it's more should be technology play, or you can do some industrial computer vision solutions, or you can sure create some simple mass market solutions. Probably you know Luxury, you know Masquerade, etc. This is very simple in terms of technology solutions, but very good business solutions. So they very successful because of that. So last I spoke about VR, AR about like now, and I believe I was the caption of visuals. Now I will talk about a little bit about future. I will try to give you ideas what we will have in 5 years, what we will have in 10 years, what we will have in 25 years. Partly it's my understanding, but partly it's something what we're discussing in Bay Area in some close groups related with computer vision and VR. So don't think what it's just my ideas and not so smart. So why big guys investing in virtual reality and augmented reality now? It's because they understand what they missed iPhone. So they don't want to miss new trend, and they all understand what augmented reality glasses and virtual reality. It's some kind of new iPhone. That is why they're now trying to invest in everything. And they feel what, like in 2 years or 3 years, okay, in 5 years, it will be mobile. It will be substitution of your iPhone, so you will not use iPhone daily, you will use glasses. And it provides much more data and in much better way, in much more organic way. Because your phone, it's simplification. You're living in a 3D world. Your phone is 2D. So you're touching your screen, it's a 2D. Your screen is 2D product. And this is some kind of simplification. So future in 3D, future in 3D interfaces. If you're talking about augmented reality versus virtual reality, so we all need to understand in what kind of future we will live in next 10, 25 years. Probably you all heard about Elon Musk plans to go on Mars, yeah? So if we think what this is the main scenario for our life in 25 years. So we can predict what we will live in a real world. It will be not a simulation. Yeah, but sometime Elon Musk telling you what it's a simulation even now. But don't go in this. It's not a subject to discuss in this place. Otherwise, we will go mad now. So I think the main scenario for next 25 years is what we will live in a physical world, what we can touch. Okay, what will happen in 25 years? I don't know. We will see. But the main basic scenario for app developers, yeah, for developers who create now application for iPhone, what we will stay in this world. Why? First is because we still have limited sensors, so these sensors do not give you right feedback about in VR simulation. Second, if you're talking about virtual reality, like full virtual reality, it still should be matched with a physical world. For example, we had some product and during demonstration, client was so fascinated in to walk in virtual reality, so he broke a table. And this means what its limit. So when you walk in virtual reality, you have to walk in reality, in a physical world. That is why I'm not believing in like VR chairs, all these VR tools. It could be funny for your home. You can play at home, but it's not mobile. You cannot use this daily. So this brings me to the conclusion, but again, we will not live in the matrix like next in 2 years, in 10 years, in 20 years. So we'll still live in a physical world. If you will go on some higher level of abstraction, if you'll try to rethink what you're doing, so you can understand what augmented reality is, some kind of new interface of everything. Sorry, maybe it's too deep topic for discussion, but I think it's more interesting than just to show you videos. But it's some kind of new layer of how information could be delivered to you. It's some kind of simplification of the world, what you can deal with. Because the world, what you live now, it's too complex for your brain. So when you will use augmented reality, you can simplify your world. For example, if you look on some verticals like construction, so when you create BIM model and you start building real building, you have a lot of interfaces. You have a lot of data what you put on a paper. You print, then so you have a BIM model like 3D model. Then you print this model on a paper. You give it to workers, and workers do some job. Using augmented reality, you can give direct instruction from BIM model to brains of workers. It's some kind of simplification. You don't need to go through all this process of printing something on the papers and all these manager layers. So again, augmented reality in some high level of abstraction, it's new interface for everything. We have some demos in our office for piloting drone in augmented reality. It's more simple, more organic, more intuitive than if you're using joysticks or if you're using like iPhone screen, etc. This is a very interesting topic. For example, Stanford University have a specific department who are responsible for research about how augmented reality and virtual reality change your brain. What I mean, if you wear HoloLens, and for example, in augmented reality, you put some object on this table, and then you take off your glasses, your brain will still think what this object is on this table. This means what you think what some real object exists. This creates some fake reality for your brain. So you start and live in new reality. If you will do this, I don't know, 100 times, you will be sure what this object on this table. Or for example, if you, for example, in HoloLens, you make some effects. So if you will touch this table and it's blew up, then after 100 times of training, if we will touch this table in reality, your brain will decide what this table will start, I don't know, burning. This gives you idea what using augmented reality, you can reprogram your brain. This is very fun, interesting, very efficient tool to retrain people, to re-educate people in more efficient way. So you don't need to do this in the physical world. Now, for example, in some in Stanford, MIT, they're doing some tests how to solve problem with some phobias of the people. So they simulate some scenarios in virtual reality and augmented reality, and this decrease your problems with some phobias. So if you have a phobia of, I don't know, of some creatures, and you're starting to deal with creatures in virtual reality, they probably decrease your level of fear. Number 3, when you wear, for example, HoloLens, we can detect your eyes. So, for example, we can detect, are you lying or you're not lying? Are you affected what you are really doing or no? For example, if you really want to buy something, what you see or no? So you cannot lie. If you take your iPhone in your hands, you can lie. When we close to your brain, we understand what you really mean. And can you show another video? This is what you can buy on a Kickstarter. I got it 2 years ago. So this guy playing Warcraft using some tool. He used like brain waves. So this tool reads some brain waves on your head, and he playing in a game. So he don't need all these tools, joysticks, etc. I got it like 2 years ago. So when we will mix your brain waves, and when we will mix what you see in augmented reality, etc., we really can understand what you're thinking about. So it's a little bit dangerous and strange, but again, it's not something will happen in like 20 years. It's happening now. So it's something what you can touch. Like I can go in my office and I can touch drone what flying autonomously. Yeah. So it's not something strange for me. Работает. It's not doesn't work for me. Okay. It's more. This brings us to next topic. So we have augmented reality. Just imagine what you spending all your life in augmented reality, like in HoloLens. So we can collect data what your behavior. Facebook, for example, now collect data about like your text data. And Facebook train artificial intelligence on a text data what you chatting with your friends, etc. Facebook know your interests, etc. So Facebook know what you're writing. Since you will use augmented reality, we can collect data how you behave, about your behavior. And it's not only 3D data, it's like 4D data. It's data in time, it's data how you collaborating, etc. Scope of this data from augmented reality and since we will get data from Facebook, give us very powerful data set to train artificial intelligence. So this is all about how we can simulate a human, yeah, in the future. Maybe it's too crazy topic, but it's interesting for me to talk. So AR data, so data what you generate in augmented reality plus Facebook, etc., give us best data for artificial intelligence. Even now, so you can try what this was. So some guys take video streams from Doom, first Doom, and they train it just usual visual data. They train it artificial intelligence, and they created bot who is the best player in a Doom in the world, just using visual data. So this is the level of artificial intelligence. Just imagine what we can do after we create, after we will have all these data sets from augmented reality, virtual reality, and your Facebook or I don't know whatever you use, WhatsApp. So science we have, but this is a long, it's not now. Now a lot of companies trying to create more organic, how it's called, more organic sensors to transfer your feelings. For example, I was on some private event. They show me some fake hand. So you can wear a glove and you can understand what this is jeans and this is a t-shirt. This is cool because when you buy something in the store, you're interested to touch something. So just imagine what you can take. You can buy this glove, you can wear on your hand, and you can touch what you're buying. It's very simple, yeah? It's like ultrasonic sensors. So now it's a more prototype stage, but in 10 years it will be much, much better. So science we will have very good sensors what can transfer feelings, and we will have data what people share to artificial intelligence. We can achieve like fully simulation of the life. So we can back to virtual reality, and for you it will be doesn't matter. Are you really flying to Mars, or you playing in a virtual reality game? But this is not a question of, it's not a business for like, I believe, next 20 years. It's something what will happen in 25, 35 years. But this is something what people doing even now. So on a prototype stage in universities, etc. This is all what I want to share it with you. And I have 10 minutes for questions. I'll be happy to answer on questions. Please feel free to ask.
Thank you very much, Vitaliy, for a really wonderful presentation. And now we start Q&A session. And actually, I have a lot of questions and one business idea, actually.
Okay.
Let us start with business idea. You know, if you're extra weight and you want to reduce your weight, how about using virtual reality for this? You eat kasha, but in the virtual reality is a tort or something very specific, very nice looking and a lot of calories. So, is it possible to have virtual reality inside you? So what I mean, for example, not glasses but lenses, not the sensors that man shows in the game, playing game, but something inside you. So this virtual reality is. Doesn't need any extra attachment to you.
Okay. Like as for me, it's a little bit strange to have some chips inside of your body. Yeah. So it's not a normal situation. But we did some event in another city in Ukraine 1 month ago, and in real time we demonstrated how one guy implementing chip to body of the guys, like of free some volunteer, yeah, and among maybe 250 people, 10 people asked it to do the same, and they did it. So after this event, we have like 12 cyborgs. Again, now it's happening now. So like normal people, like among this auditory now, 10 people, I don't know how many people here, but like let's say like 10 people already fine to integrate some chips inside of your body. So I believe like in 10 years, more and more people will be ready to do this. And for sure we can, it's possible to achieve some kind of simulation, what you already something eat. Or we can, for example, integrate some chip, what punish you if you passed your gym, yeah? If you're not, you forgot to go to a gym, we can send some electricity to your brain and we will punish you. So, and more people will be okay with this because now people buying, I don't know, Fitbits, people buying all this stuff, but they really just not using them daily. More questions?
Yeah, guys, please hands up and don't be shy.
Yeah, so the question is, what do you think about the regulations in future of virtual reality? Because our brain works a little bit very straight way, as the moderator said, when you eat something and you can show it that you are eating another, yeah, he will probably believe it after some trainings. And the point is, who will be regulating the software, which will be sold for virtual reality, for example? Because if it will be too real, yeah, we can now see people in shopping malls like standing on the rails and they already fallen. But when some bad guy will make the game when you are dying, for example, you are hit it with the sword, and like some scientists said that your brain could really believe it and just switch off. So the question is,
yeah,
what do you think about this?
I think it's like if you're talking about like regulations, yeah, it's nothing different than now you're watching TV. So it will be some kind of regulation, some kind of bureaucrats what will have some salaries for this, and they will give you level of access to something. Yeah, so it's nothing different than now. So I think it's the problem what they can start thinking about too late. So industry will change people now, and they will just understand these results like in 5 years, etc. But the main problem how to predict what some game or some behavior in AR affect you, yeah. And this equation to some more intelligent algorithms what should analyze how this happened. But it's the technology. It's about technology. And I know what some people starting thinking about this. Now we're starting thinking. Maybe someone will have some startup idea and about this. Yeah, this is my answer. So it's just normal.
By the way, Zuckerberg closed his camera on his laptop. So
yeah, he knows something.
Some philosophical question. Presenters that will be at on Sunday. Vasil Milko noted on one of his presentations that we have really slow speed of deploying sensors in general to get the reality. Don't you think that we need to not to count on generic people meanings or understanding and push speed of deploying sensors to get more information, to collect more data, to get faster deploying of augmented reality for everyone?
It's hard to answer on this question on the public. Okay, so we can talk with you about this after this. But I think our society could be adopted for anything what someone decide to be. Yeah, so it's a question how you bring this to understanding to the mass. Again, I had in Ukraine when we showed it how one guy integrated chip to another body to another guy, 10 more people. Again, it's Ukraine. It's not some advanced like societies. It's in Ukraine. Like 10 people paid $55 for this and did the same. So this is the question how you can just adopt through mass culture, etc. So I don't see any problems here. We have 5 more minutes. Yeah.
Okay, we mentioned Zuckerberg here already. So, and we know that he closes his camera, right? So the question is, what about security? We are talking about things that can fake some feelings, right? And what about security? If we can hack a computer, why can't we hack this kind of device? And what will happen if this will happen?
Again, I think virtual reality and augmented reality is not too different than the real life. Yeah, so it's the same. So it's some kind of simulation. So the same law and the same orders should be in virtual reality and augmented reality. So just think about this. It's something what will be adopted. So it's not something like now you're looking at this like something new, but it will be casual life in 10 years. So, and we will have the same relations among people inside of virtual reality. We'll have mostly the same. So I don't see, so now we, for example, in 2001, so it's 14 years ago, I published it in my post blog article about what if you have smartphone, you could be hacked. And this was 2001. I got feedback like on this article, no, this not happened. Phones too stupid to be hacked. Now you see what happening now. Yeah, a lot of startups, a lot of companies doing just mobile security. So I think the market will adopt to this, and society will be adopted for this. It's not so it's normal. So it's normal evolution or normal revolution. Depends on the level of technology. We have 4 minutes here.
Sure question. Just your opinion, it is good or bad to have chips in your body, inside of your body? And how do you think augmented reality can affect humanity in the future? For example, if we put the augmented reality chip inside the DNA, for example, and we born the child with this chip in the DNA already, how it can affect humanity in the future in both good or bad ways? Just your opinion.
I think we're living in a world what is too complex for our brain. So we all need some tools to simplify our world. I recognize augmented reality is one of the tools what can simplify the world where we live in. Is it better, is it good or no? It's a question to quality of the technology and how it's, what is the result of simplification? Is it make you stupid or it's make you smarter? Yeah, it's make you more affected, more, how would say, on English language, like you could be object and you can be subject. Yeah, so what will happen? About chips, I think, so I had some private event. I bring some cool guy in robotics and in systems engineering, and we we had some discussion. Like one day we brainstorming with a group of people, like 20 people. We brainstorming what will happen in like 10 years, 20 years. And one of the good idea what in the future, like in 5 years and 10 years, if you will not have, so for example, if you now don't have a laptop, you're not competitive with other people who have laptop. Yeah. So in the future, I can predict what if you don't have a body, you will be not so competitive with other people who will be more efficient with these chips in your body. It will be your motivation to have all these devices inside of your body, outside of your body, etc. So this is the progress. This is how people compete for the resources. This is how people compete to create new people. So if you want to be competitive in your future, you need to make some decisions. So we will see. I don't want to go deep in this topic because yeah, we have two more. Yeah, okay. Two more questions. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so very quick question. Do you consider the scenario when you actually don't wear any device for the augmented reality, like HoloLens or something like that, but rather than that, you have the projector which recreates the augmented reality in 3D? And if yes, then when do you think this technology will be really, you know, maybe robust and mass market? I mean, do you have any predictions or thoughts about that?
I'm not so sure about projection of something behind you, because you have some problem with lighting condition, etc. I saw several prototypes. I cannot disclose like too details, but my idea, it's probably you can Google about this. What some companies created some lens, so you can just put your lens in your eyes, and you will be able to see something. So I know what now it even exists. What you can control your sugar using these lenses. So this is some kind of augmented reality. I mean, but so in the future probably you can project some data. If you can do what you've been now doing with HoloLens. So second layer, it's when you will integrate something inside your brain. So you will have full access. But we are far away from this, I believe. So I know what's happening in the companies. I know something, but it's far away from production. Let's say. Last question. Yeah.
Hi all.
Hi.
So my question is about emotive. Emotive is that electroencephalograph that we saw. So have you used it to define any human interaction or activity? And what was the accuracy?
So I ordered this sensor like 2 years ago, and I got it 2 years ago. I played like 1 hour, and after that I forgot about it. So I understand the idea, I understand how it works, but it's not my focus of what I'm doing. Like I'm care about something different. But again, we can. So now you can see more advanced devices, which works better. So can you achieve some like very natural interface, like very natural transfer between your brain and this using just reading? I'm not sure. For some kind, it's something very limited, yeah. But I predict what some companies will create some more advanced sensors what allow you to more precise control of something. Yeah, this is my answer. Just want to note what it's not. I'm usually a normal guy. I'm not thinking about all this what we talked today. I'm usually a normal guy. Thank you very much for your attention. Thank you very much for your questions. Feel free to talk with me after this meeting. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vitaliy.